Hello everyone, welcome to BRDS. In this video, we are going to discuss the detailed solution of UCEED 2025 Part A section. So let's start it with the first of all NET section of this year's paper. Okay, so the question number one, they have said a painter mixes white and black paint to create different shades of two different uh, buckets in two different buckets. He prepared 10 kgs in one bucket with 20% black paint in it. He then prepares 20 kg of another shade in second bucket with 20% black paint in it. He pours the second bucket into the first one. What is the percentage of black paint in that mixture? Okay. So in this one, it is given to us that it's the question of mixture where 20% is given to us in both of the shades. Okay. So directly we can mark the answer as like 20%. Okay. If you're clear with the theories of the mixture and delegation chapter, so you can directly give the answer as like 20% into this particular question and your answer would become 20. Okay. But if you want to have a detailed understanding for this one, so it is given to us as like 10 kg in the first bucket. So 20% is a black one, which will means it would be 2 kg black color into that shade. And in the another bucket, I do have 20 kg where again it is given to us as like 20% black color, which means the 4 kg would be there. So if we will add it, that would be total of 30 kg, while this would be total of 6 kg. Okay, that means we can simply figure it out that we have to find out the percentage of 6 kg in 20 kg, sorry, 30 kg. Okay, what is 6 kg in 30 kg? And we can simply understand that is going to be 20%. Okay, but this was a question in which you could have answered this one in within 10 to 15 seconds after reading or understanding the question. Okay, because irrespective of the quantity, the percentage of the black paint is same in both the buckets. So the answer would be same 20%. Okay, so that is the correct answer for the question number one. The correct answer would come out to be 20. Okay, moving ahead on to the very second question. The second question is Betty bought some butter with butter was too bitter, so she put a little gummy to make the bitter butter yummy. Okay. Now there was a very small thing in which most of the students have made mistake into this particular question. They had said, first of all, we have to replace every T with the B. Okay. So the very first mistake most of the students may make into this particular question is the question is not about interchanging. Okay, the question is not about interchanging, it is replacing. Okay, replacing does means you have to only replace T with the B, but if any of you have replaced B with the T, that was not supposed to be done into that question. Okay, so it was not interchanging, it was replacing the T with the B. Okay, that was the first mistake which some of you must have made. The very second mistake is related to understanding this, the question part, which is saying, what is the total number of instances in which the same letter appears at least twice in a word? They haven't discussed the only repetition of T or B you have to count. Any instance of any letter appearing twice, at least twice in a word would be counted. Okay, so if we do go for this one, so most probably you may have made the mistake in the counting. Okay, like if we do talk about the word yummy, sorry, if we do talk about the word yummy, that would be counted as two instances. The first instance is of Y and the second instance is of M. Similarly, the little would also be counted as two instances. The first instance would be of L and the second instance is of T, which is replaced by B. Okay, so the correct answer for this one would be Betty bought. Okay, because this would become B. Okay, over here, this two also would become B. Okay, some no butter, but butter two. Okay, because O is repeating over here. Okay, bitter. So she put a little. Remember, you will count it as two. Okay, gummy. M is repeating over here to make the bitter butter yummy. Again, that would be counted as two. So when you will count it total, you will get the answer as like 14 total instances are occurring over there. Okay, so that was commonly the mistake I've seen. Okay, like few students told me that they have got only 12 instances, and the reason is just simply they haven't counted this one as two different instances of any alphabet or any letter appearing twice. Okay, so that was a thing which was expected to do into this question, which makes it a little bit logically different. Okay, but again, a question which I would consider that won't be a very time consuming. Okay, so the correct answer for the question is the 40. Okay, now, moving directly on to the next question. The next question, a very, very, very simple and tricky. If you have solved this question with the correct approach, it would hardly take you 30 seconds to do the answer, to get the answer for this one. Okay. But again, what probably the mistake most of the students must have done into this question, probably they was about to solving this puzzle. Okay. They were looking for the answer, the numbers which are going to appear over here. Okay, you do not have to find out these numbers. Okay, like what are the numbers that may appear over here? The question is not about that. The question is about is that what will be the sum of the numbers in each row and column or maybe diagonally. Okay, so when you will read this question, the question is saying that in a 3 by 3 square onto the left hand side, 1 to 9 have been filled so that each and every row, column and diagonal adds to 15. Okay, so the point is that you have to use all of these digits. Okay, you have to use all of these digits. Okay, clear? So same way for the 4 by 4 column, we have to perform this thing. So we have to use all of this 16 digits. Okay, all 16 digits. Sorry, I should say numbers. My bad. All of these 16 numbers are supposed to be filled in any of the cell of that matrix. Okay, such that the sum of the number of each row, column, and it should be same. Okay, so if I do sum the whole matrix, okay, if we do sum the whole matrix, so this is basically 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to 16, which by using the formula n into n plus 1 divided by 2, we can very simply get the answer as like 16 into 17 divided by 2. That is the sum of the whole matrix. Okay, but after this one, they have said it has to be divided equally in rows or maybe equally into the column or maybe equally diagonally also. That means we have to divide into the 4 parts. So just simply my answer is going to be 16 into 17 divided by 2 divided by 4, which would become 16 into 17 divided by 8. This will cancel out this one 2 times, and the answer for the question would become directly 34. Okay, so it was not about filling this puzzle. If you're looking for getting the answer for that one, definitely it will consume your time. But if you have got this question very correctly, you had to directly use this formula. Whatever the summation is that you have to divide it by 4 and directly will get the answer as like 34 for this question. So it was a very good question in which some of the students may lose time if they will not focus onto the question very well. But most of the students may save their time if they are clear with this part of this question, that how exactly we have to get the sum of these all numbers and how exactly the question have been raised or question had been formed. Okay, so that's how you should appear onto for this particular question number 3. Okay, let's move ahead on to the question number 4 and let's discuss that one. So question number 4, again, a question in which most of the students had asked me is I was getting the answer as like 13. I was able to save the 8 and the 5. Okay. So the mistake they have done, they have tried to solve it orally, and that's why one of the reasons that they may have got the answer incorrect over here. Okay. So let's first read the question. The question is saying that 10 people are sitting in a circle and each person is assigned with a number, maybe the seat number. Okay, they have said we have removed the first person, and after that one, we are removing the every third person in the clockwise direction. Okay. So first of all, I will tell you what mistake mostly of the students have done. Okay, so they have done it like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, like first I have removed one, then 1, 2, 3rd, 1, 2, 3rd, 1, 2, 3rd, like this one. But after this one, they must have started making the mistakes. Like they would be removing like this: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, and sorry, I will left off with the two numbers only 8 and 5, and they will get the answer like 13. But this is completely wrong. Okay, because after removing the numbers, like up to this very first cycle, that would be very correct. Okay, but after this one, this is the first, second, and the third. So this would be removed. then first, second, and third. This would be removed. Okay, and after that one, first, second, third. This would be removed. Okay, this would be now become the third one. And after that one, first, second, and third, this would be removed. So the numbers that I will left out with in after performing all these removal of the numbers, I will left out with 8 and 2. So the answer would become 8 plus 2, 10. Okay, so that is a correct one. Okay, that's how you should have approached onto this question. Okay, clear. So I do hope that you must have got what mistake you have done. If and those who have got the very correct answer for this one, very good. Okay, moving ahead on to the next one, guys. Okay, question number 5. Um, in this one, they have gave us a cube and they have said that from every corner we have chamfered this triangular shape. Okay, and along with that, we have formed a tetrahedral notch of edge 1 centimeter each into that shape. Okay, on every single face. Okay, so first of all, the dimensions are not important for us into this question. Okay, dimensions have nothing to do with this particular question. Okay, but I do know if you have not got the correct answer for this one, what probably mistake you have done. If you have tried to do the calculation, but what probably mistake you have done. Let's discuss that one. Okay, I do know there is a formula for any closed polygon. The formula is f plus v minus e is equals to 2. Okay, for any closed solid sorry, not my bad. For any closed solid. The formula is f plus v minus e is equals to 2. Okay, but there is a condition for this thing. Okay, it should be the flat surface. Like if it had been something like this, we could have used this formula. Okay, if we have got the surfaces like this, the other three also, we could have used this formula to get the answer directly, the number of faces, vertices, edges using this formula. Okay, but as it is not that particular shape, so we need to very importantly get this thing like how exactly we can get the answer for this particular one. Okay, so we have to find out the number of vertices and the number of edges. Okay, so let's first discuss about the edges. Okay, that how we can exactly give the edges into this. Okay, so if we do use the symmetricity over here into this particular one, so let's first talk about the tetrahedron that is on faces. Okay, tetrahedron on faces. So every single tetrahedron will give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 edges. Okay, so 6 into 6, 36. Okay, we have got 36 total edges to that particular one. Okay, so we have count them all. Okay, then let's talk about that chamfered space of the this corners. Okay, onto the corners. Okay, if we do talk about the chamfered at the corners, okay, all the corners that have been chamfered. Okay, we will talk about that one. So we will get 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 3 total 8 corners are there as it is onto the corners. So 3 into 8, it is going to be 24. And then after that one in the cube, we do know, except this all thing, we do have 12 more edges. Okay, so the total answer for this one number of edges would come out to be 72. Okay, so that's how we can go for the edges. Similarly, if we do go for the vertices, okay, if we do go for the vertices into the same figure, okay, so let's again, first of all, talk about that tetrahedron shape, okay, tetrahedron on the faces. Okay, so every tetrahedron is creating 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, 4 total number of vertices. So 4 into 6, we will get 24 of them. Okay, then after this one, if we do talk about the chamfered ones, okay, which will create 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 3 into 8, that would be 24. Okay, now here comes another mistake from lot of students. It may have done by a lot of students who probably would have got up to this point very correct solution, but is still not able to get the correct answer for the question. Okay, now the cube won't have its 8 corners. Okay, it won't be there. Okay, because the corners are already chamfered. Okay, there are no corners left of the cube. Okay, so the only total vertices I do have left out is 48 in total. Okay, so number of edges are 72, number of vertices are 48. So the answer for the question would become 48 plus 72, which is 120. Okay, so that is the way you should have approached onto this particular question. It was expected. Okay, so those who have got the correct answer for this one, very good, guys. Okay, let's move ahead onto the very next question. Okay, the next question is, with a straight line, you can slice a circular piece of paper into two pieces. Second cut across, second straight line across is the first cut will produce a maximum of four pieces. What is the maximum number of pieces that you can get with a total of four straight cuts? Okay, a lot of students came to me and they discussed this question with me and they have said that I was able to get only 10, I was able to get only 9 or 8. They all had made a very small or very common kind of a mistake. Okay, this line is very important for you. Okay, they have mentioned over here the second straight line crosses the first cut will produce a maximum of four pieces. Okay, which is clearing that thing. If it is a circle, okay, and I'm getting one line, the second cut or the second straight line should cut the first one. So same way, if I have creating a third one, it should definitely cut the first two. Okay, it should definitely cut the first two. Okay, which is definitely going to be there. Okay, but I do know most of the students either have drawn it like this, or maybe some other way like this, or it might be cutting somewhere outside. Okay, it should have been drawn in such a manner that it is cutting the first line, the second line, and also the third line, like this one. Okay, remember this thing. Okay, do not pass through the intersection of either circle, circle and any line, circle and any line, or maybe two straight lines. Okay, do not pass the fourth line through either the circle and the lines intersection, like these points. Okay, do not let it pass through these points. Okay, and also do not let it pass through these all points. Otherwise, you will get the less number of straight lines into this one. Okay, so that you have to keep in mind. Now you can just simply do the calculation for this one or count them. Okay, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 total sectors, 11 total pieces you will get out of this particular. But remember this thing, if you want to maximize this thing, you will do this. If you want to minimize it, okay, you will have to let it pass through the intersections. Okay, if the question would have been in the opposite sense, what is the minimum number of pieces? So we'll have to let it pass through the intersections. Okay, so that is the way you are supposed to, and the one intersection you will select, like if it had been a minimum number of one, so one straight line, second straight line. Okay, I will let it allow somehow the third one to get like this, and the fourth one also to get it pass through like this one. The same intersection point I will select, and I will let it pass through all the four straight line and the circle through that particular. That is the minimum number of piece you can get through the four straight lines. Okay, so that's how you should approach onto this particular question. Okay. Let's move ahead on to the question number 7, and let's discuss that one, that how exactly you could have got the question number 7 correct. Okay. Now, in the sessions, I have mentioned this with a lot of students that there may be some questions which would be called as like kind of a speed breaker. Okay, so this is also a question which I will say could be a speed breaker for a lot of the students, those who have missed few very important details of this particular question. Okay, so let's first understand this one. They have said, what is the highest number of occurrence of a shape in the figure shown? Okay, the question could had been, what is the number of unique shapes? What is a particular shape is repeating how many number of times? Okay, but there are multiple shapes. If you have analyzed this figure correctly, there are total 4 different shapes you will find out into this one. A kind of a star, kind of you can say ninja blade, and another kind of that star shape, that 8-sided one, and the pentagon shape you will get into this particular figure. Okay, so you will have to do the counting of 4 of them, that how many number of times they are appearing into this particular one. Okay, that's why I do call this one as like kind of a speed breaker question. Okay, But I would say if you will analyze the figure correctly, you will find out that only two shapes are being repeated most number of times. I will figure out those shapes most number of times into this figure, and that is star shape and that ninja blade shape. Okay, so just do the counting of those two. Okay, properly. If you want to be onto the safe side, you can do the counting of the other ones also, like pentagon or maybe the other shape like this one also. Okay, but if you will just get that thing correctly, you will find out that it is these two shapes which are occurring a lot of number of times, the star shape and the ninja blade shape. Okay, so just simply let's do the counting because there's no other logic that needs to be discussed into this particular question. So let's actually do the counting for this one. Let's do the counting for both of them. So that is the one. Okay, that is you will find out this one is like the second one, the third one. Okay, I haven't missed anyone. Okay, I'm talking about the Ninja Blade first. Okay, third one, then it would come out to be the fourth one, the fifth one. Okay, sixth one, seventh one. Okay, you will find out. I'm going vertically. Eighth one and ninth one. Okay, I'm getting nine of them over here. Okay, so that's how we can get just check it once again so that if by chance we have missed any of them, so we can do the counting of that one also. Okay, so nine of is there. Nine of such a shape is there. I can clearly see that thing. But if you want to go through that one back again, just do the counting. I think I haven't missed any of them. Okay, let's do the counting for the star shape over here. So one, two, okay, and three, four, five. Because of this sharp notch, we can easily do the counting for this one. Okay, one, two, three, four, five, six. I think this is seven, and this is the eighth. So this shape we are getting nine number of times. This shape we are getting eight number of times. So probably this is the correct one because if we do the counting for the pentagons also, like just for the safe side, I'm doing the counting for the pentagons also. Like if you have saved the time from the other question, you could use that time over here into this particular question. Okay, so one, two. Okay, I'm getting it the third time over here and fourth and five time only. Okay, and even if I have missed one or two of them, that is not my concern. That is not my question. Okay, because definitely it is in the less number of times okay occurring into this one. And talking about the last one, okay, it is occurring one, two, three, four, five, six and seven times only. Okay, so this is happening seven times only. Okay, so just to be onto the safe side, you can do the counting of each of them separately, or maybe you can just analyze the figure and you can directly do the counting for those shapes which with which you are like kind of having a doubt that it may be the answer, this may not be. Okay, so the answer for this one is correct as like option sorry as like nine. Okay, as the correct one, and this is a shape which is occurring total nine number of times. Okay, let's move ahead on to the next one. Okay. Question about just doing a very simple kind of the calculation. Okay, they have said each of the rings in the chain in the given figure has an outer diameter of 5 centimeter and cross-sectional diameter of 1 centimeter. What is the maximum end-to-end length of the chain in the centimeter? Okay, so the figure is already given to you that how the chain has have been created. Okay, if you want to think about any other kind of the drawing also, that won't be possible. That is the maximum you could get to these all 10 rings over here. Okay, so how exactly you are supposed to do the counting? You would have thought of first of all these. Okay, which would be five. Okay, five for this, five for this, five for this, and 5 for this. So 25 we have got. Okay. Now talking about this gap. So this is giving me one, this is giving me one, and one. So definitely this is left out with one space of 1 centimeter only. Okay. Because that is the ring having a 5 centimeter diameter. Okay. 5 centimeter diameter. Okay. But 4 centimeter have already been in the cross section, which is already had been counted over here. Okay. 2 centimeter have been already counted over here, and 2 centimeter have already been counted over here. So only 1 centimeter of the space have been left over here. Okay, so this would be only counted as like 1. Okay, so same way we can go for the other of them also. Okay, like this would also be 1, this would also be 1, and this would also be 1. So we have got 4 with the help of that one. Now we have left out with this of the space only. So this is total as like 5, where this is 2. So the remaining this space would be 3. 5 minus 2. So plus 3. My answer is directly 32. So again, a very simple and straightforward question in which you could have very easily got the answer just by a very basic calculation and adding and thinking about the shape correctly. Even you do not have to think the shape. Okay, it is already given to you. Okay, so the correct answer for the question is 32. Okay. Moving ahead on to the very next question. The very next question over here is about a simple straight line formation you have to do over here into this question. You have to just simply equate each of the things, okay, and then you have to just put the values into the 6.2 inches and like that one, you will get your answer over there. Okay, like they have gave us 1 inch is equals to 25 which is equals to 6 pica. Now, 1 pica is 12 points, so 6 pica would be 72 points. Okay, like 6 pica, if I do keep it over here, this would become 72 points. And similarly, this would also multiply it by the 6 and would become 96 pixels. Okay, so let's write down that one, 72 points, and that equals to 96 pixels. Okay, now we have created this information with the help of this detail which is given to me over here. Okay, we have created this information. Okay, now just accordingly I have to put the values to get the answer for this one. Okay, they have gave me 6 points. Okay, and we have to get the answer in the form of pixels, so I will directly convert the points into the pixel, inches into the pixel, picas into the pixel, and we'll get the answer with the help of that one. Okay, so let's do this. So they have gave us 6 points. Okay, so 6 points. Okay, now 72 points is 96 pixels, or through that one, we can clearly see this thing. 12 points is 16 pixels. Okay, so 6 point would be 8 pixel. Okay, 6 points would be 8 pixel. Then 2 inches. Now 1 inch is 96 pixel, so 2 inches would be 96 into 2, 192 pixel. Okay, now 3 picas. Okay, so 1 pica is 16 pixels. So 3 pica would be 16 into 3, 48 pixels. Okay. Similarly, they have gave us 8 pixels directly. So we do not have to worry about that. 8 pixel. Okay. Then they have given us 25 So 25 is basically 96 pixels. So I will write down 96 pixel. And just simply I have to do this addition 8 plus 192 plus 48 plus 8 plus 96, which will give me the answer as like 200, 248, 256, and adding this one will give me my answer. Okay, so that's how we can directly get the answer for this particular question. We can directly add them and we can get the answer as like 8 plus 192, which is to be 200, 248, 256, and 96 would come out to be 352 pixels. Okay, so the answer for this question is 352 pixels. Okay, so that's how we can very simply get this one. Okay, you just create this whole thing in one line, just equate them from the very beginning till the end in one line only and convert them accordingly. Okay, using either of this information or maybe this information. Well, this won't be that much helpful to you. Okay, like this information won't be that much helpful to you. Okay, this may be helpful, or using this one and this two both, whatever I will get, that would be helpful to me. Okay, through that one, we can very easily get the answer for this. Okay, so very good for those students who had done this thing and got the answer for this one correctly. Okay, moving ahead on to the next one, guys. Okay, so the question number 10 is based onto the very simple puzzle over here, okay, in which the colors are also clearing that thing that every single sector is related with the opposite sector of it. Okay, so using that thing, if you'll try to get the relation, you will find out like this 3 and 24. So this is something as like this 3 into 3 square minus 1 is 24. Okay. Similarly, if we'll do between the 4 and 60, you will find out 4 into 4 square minus 1 is 60. Okay, same way, if you try between the 6 and 210, you will find out 6 into 6 square minus 1 is 210. So following this detail, if I'll try to do with this thing, 5 into 5 square minus 1, which is 5 into 24, answer would come out to be 120. Okay, so just by creating the relation between them, we can very easily get the answer for this question to be 120. Okay, a very simple question, kind of a, you can say a puzzle-based one. Okay, and we could have got the answer for this one. Okay, moving ahead on to the very next question. What three-digit number can be made from the digits 2, 3, 5, 7 such that none of the digit of three-digit number are the same? That means all three digits should be unique. And also the three-digit number is divisible by each of the digits in it. Okay, this information is also very important for me. Okay, definitely it is a three-digit number. That's not a big concern. We do know through the permutation combination, we could get the answer for this one. But the constraint that is given to me over here is a very important one because this is going to help me to guide the answer for this question. Okay, like I do know that whatever number I'm going to get, it must be divisible by each the digit in it. Okay, now if you just focus on your numbers, okay, 7 is a kind of a number which for which there is no divisibility rule. Okay, there is a divisibility rule, but that is a very tricky and a lengthy one. Okay, so just forget about the 7. Think about the 2, 3, and 5 first of all. Okay, so if I do decide that whatever the answer is, that would definitely have the 2. Okay, that will definitely have the 2. And if the number has to be divisible by 2, that means definitely the unit digit must be 2. Okay, and if the unit digit is 2, that means not divisible by 5. Okay, so I cannot use 5. That means cannot use 5. So if I want to use 2, the only option I do have is either 372 or 27, sorry, my bad, 732. Okay, this is the only two option I could have. I cannot use 5 because the number would won't be divisible by 5. And the 3 and 7 I could only use with this 2. Okay. And the numbers have to be such a way that 2 is always at the units place. Okay. So if you will check this one, the summation for this one, first of all, I'm checking for 3. I will find out both the numbers are divisible by 3 because the summation of this digits is 12. Okay. So definitely it is divisible by 3. Now we can just verify with the 7 just by dividing it, and I will find it out that none of the number is divisible by 7. That means these two are not my option. Okay. Now, same way, if I want to use the 5, okay, if I want to use the 5 in my 1, okay, so again, the unit digit must be 5. Okay, unit digit must be 2 because we do know 3, 5 or 7 are odd ones. Okay, so same way here unit digit must be 5. That means we want the unit digit to be 5. That means definitely not divisible by 2. So we can't use 2. Okay, so again, we would have only two options with in front of us. That would be either of the 735 or 375. Okay, again, if you'll try with the 3, because the numbers are divisible by 5, so I do not have to worry about 5. Okay, if I will check with the 3, I will find it out. Again, both the numbers are divisible by 3 because this time the summation is 15. Okay, and when I will check with the 7, I will find it out. This number is not divisible by 7, but 735 definitely is divisible by 7. So the number that I will get over here is 735, and that is my answer. Okay. So that's how you should have approach onto this question. Because if you want to use a two, okay, then you do have very limited options. If you want to use a five, you also do have very limited option. Okay, if none of them would have been giving me the correct answer for this one, then we could have tried some other thing with the help of three. Like if I want to use three, or if the number has to be divisible by three, so what combination I could have in that case? Okay, so that's how you should approach onto this question. Okay. Let's move ahead on to the next one. Okay, moving ahead on to the next question, guys. Question number 12. Okay, they have gave us 27 cubes. Each of edge 10 centimeter are arranged to create a larger cube. If the cubes at the edges at the corners are replaced with the spheres of diameter 10 centimeter, all the eight corners have been replaced by the diameter. So the dimension has just to do this only with this part, that whatever the side of the cube is, the same is the diameter of the edge or the diameter of the sphere. None other than this is an important information related to the dimensions of that one. Okay, it's all about the complete visualization, and you could have very good, easily get the answer for this one. They have said, what is the minimum number of cubes that do not touch any of the sphere? Okay, so just think about it. Okay, if I'm drawing a cube like this, if we do draw the cube, well, you do not have to draw it actually during the paper, okay? Just by the visualization, also you could have solved this question, okay? But if you want to solve this, okay? So I'm replacing these all corners with the help of the spheres, okay? Similarly, these all and that one onto the opposite corner. Okay, so we have to just think of one corner that would help me to lead any every other single thing into this one. Okay, if you just focus about this particular corner, the sphere that would be connected over here would be touching this one, would be touching this one, and would be touching this one. Okay, it won't be touching this, it won't be touching this, it won't be touching this, and it won't be even touching that another particular one cube, which is exactly at the center. Okay, so rather than that one, think about this space. Okay, so the cube which have been added over here, okay, the cube which have been added over here, oh sorry, the sphere, my bad. The sphere which have been added over here, just a minute. The sphere which have been added over here, okay, is not touching except these three, any of this four. Okay, so if we do imagine the same situation in this whole cube, you will find out that the cubes which is falling into this line won't be touching any of this sphere, because the sphere is here, the sphere is here, the sphere is here, the sphere is on this corner, and similarly onto the other corners. Okay, so it won't be touching them. So the number of cubes that would be lying onto this one would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so the answer for the question would become 7. Okay, at least these sevens are definitely not going to touch any of the other cube. Okay, these is sorry, any of the other sphere. These cubes are not going to touch any of the other sphere. Okay, so the answer would become 7 for this one. Clear? Okay. Now moving ahead on to the next question, guys. The very next question is a very simple one, and if you would get confused into this type of the question, so you could use your rough sheets for getting the answer for this one. Okay, so that's it. That some of the shapes in the image K are either flipped or rotated in the image J. Okay, and we have to just find out the number of shapes which have been flipped in the image J. Okay, so some of them are rotated, some of them are flipped. Okay, but the point is the position of few of the elements have been also changed. Okay, like this particular one, you will find out over here. Okay, so position also have been changed, but that's not my question. Okay, the question is about only those who have been flipped. Okay, so what you can do into this one is, first of all, select a particular shape, figure out its this what I should say, the other part into the image J, the same one into the image J, and look onto that one whether it is flipped or rotated or what it has been done. If you are confused, okay, like I have got this, that this is particular one which is flipped or rotated or given to us over there. If you're confused, so you can just simply in your rough sheet draw it like roughly in the very rough manner. And I've told you, flipping means it could be either just like this one, which is about the turning the page of your notebook. Okay, that means you are expected to turn your page. If it's like this, you have to turn it like this. Okay, in the horizontal manner. Okay, clear? And if it has have been flipped like this, so it is similar like the page of the calendar turn. Okay, calendar page turn. So if it is like this, just flip it like this one. So you will get the answer for this particular second, this one, whether it is flipped or not. Okay. So you will find out that it is not flipped. It is just a rotated one. Okay. So one by one, just simply do the counting in the same manner, and you will find out which of them have been flipped and which of them have been rotated. So you will find out only two of the shapes have been flipped over here. The very first, this one, and the second, this one. Okay, these two are the only one which are flipped, while all other are either in the same manner or have been rotated. Okay, so the correct answer for the question would become only two of them. Okay, so that is the thing which was expected to do into this question. Okay, you could have done this thing very simply with the help of a very simple turning your page, notebook page, or maybe the way the calendar page gets turned. Okay, so just turn your rough sheets like this one. If ever you do get question in any other exams, or if you're preparing for the next year, so you can turn it like this for the mirror image. You can turn it like this for the water image. This is the horizontal flipping. This is the vertical flipping. This is flipping about vertical axis. This is flipping about horizontal axis. Okay, clear? Let's move ahead on to the very next question. Okay. So again, a question in which probably few of the students would have made the mistake. They have said how many different patterns of pens are present in the given figure. If you do the counting, you will find out four different patterns immediately next to each other over here. Okay, like three of them are clearly visible over here, and the fourth one is visible over here. Okay, so four of them are very clearly visible at the very first look of or the left hand side view of that particular one, or any particular portion if you are selecting, like even if you are selecting over here, so one, two, this is a different one, third, and the fourth one is over here. So you'll find out four of them over there. Okay, but here comes the most important part of this question. Okay, patterns along with the pen would also be considered as a different pattern. Okay, so it is having almost similar pattern onto the cap of that particular pen, but the shape of this one is different from this. Okay, so that's why it would be counted as five. Okay, not four. Okay, do not count that one as like only four patterns were there. It is five. Okay, clear? So the same question of counting one. Okay, left to right, top to bottom, you can prefer and you can choose to count it accordingly. Okay, so this was from the NET section, the 14 questions of NET section. Definitely you must have got where you have gone very correct, what mistakes you have made, how you can avoid the mistakes for the further exams or for any other exam, and if you are willing to go for the next year's preparation, so how you can figure out those mistakes, how you can be quick with your answers, you must have got this thing, the NET section. Okay, so let's move on to the MSQ section. Okay, and we will try the questions of the MSQ now. Okay, okay. So if we do talk about the questions of MSQ, okay, so first question, question number 15, okay, which is a question based on to the 10 gram, okay. So into this one, they haven't gave you the 10 gram. Actually, they have made a shape with the help of that 10 gram, and they are just simply asking that if we want to rearrange them, so which of these four options could be possible? Okay, so two things you have to do. First of all, the shape. Okay, and if you'll try to visualize the shape correctly, you will find out there's no such like a shape into this question figure. Okay, so by that one, D would mark as a wrong answer. And the second thing you have to focus onto the color. Okay, and if you'll focus onto the color, this triangle's shape. size and the color is not matching correctly, so A would get the wrong one, while all other are the correct ones. So the correct answer would become B and C. Okay, it's a very simple and straightforward question. Okay, which was even given in the mock papers from UCEED from BRDS also. Okay, so definitely I do hope that most of the students must have done this question very correct. Okay, moving ahead on to the next question. The next question, question number 16, is asking the Tropic of Cancer passes through which of the states shown below. Okay, the question based on the general awareness. Okay, but could be very easily solved if you do know that the Tropic of Cancer exactly pass from the center of our country. Okay, एकदम बीच से pass करता है. Okay, it exactly passes from the center of our country. Okay, so if we do follow that thing, so we can mark the answer as like Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, and West Bengal. Okay, and if we do check the same thing onto this Indian map, we will find out that Tropic of Cancer is passing through the Gujarat, then it is passing through Rajasthan, then it is passing through Madhya Pradesh, then it is over here passing through the Chhattisgarh, then it is passing through the Jharkhand, along with that West Bengal. After this, in the northern states, it is passing through the Tripura and Mizoram. So only these are the 8 states through which the Tropic of Cancer passes, okay, in our country. So Maharashtra, which is over here, is the one through which the Tropic of Cancer do not pass. Okay, so if we do talk about the question, we can very simply say that was the Maharashtra through which it does not passes through. So the answer for the question would become A, C, and D. Okay, this three option would be considered as a correct answer. Okay, moving ahead on to the next question of the same paper. Okay, so they have gave us a strip of paper and they're asking which of the following is or are true for the strip of paper shown in the image. Okay, so if we just to think about this particular one, we could very easily get the answer for this. They have said it has two edges. Okay, so if we do talk about this, okay, just follow an edge like this. It will pass and it will come onto the other side of it and through that one. It would go and become one single continuous edge. Okay, so this is a wrong option. Okay, because it does have only one edge. Okay, even if you do cut this piece from anywhere, so it would become a very straight strip. Okay, which will have total 4 edge. Okay, that's why the first option won't be considered as a true one. Okay, an ant can walk all over the surface of the strip without having to cross an edge. Yes, it is a possible one. If we do follow the same thing, okay, so an ant can go on to the other side, the back side of this one. Then from here, the ant could come into the front side again. Okay, then from here, it could go on to the back side. Then it would come into the front and then the other side, and through that one it can come into the front. So an ant definitely can walk all over the surface of a strip without crossing any edge. Okay, so B is the correct one. A rotating belt that is similar to the strip of paper will have a uniform wear and tear. Definitely true, because it is a single strip. Okay, it is a single strip. So if there is a belt of the same type which is going through a particular a mechanical operation which is causing a wear or tear into this belt, so every single part of that strip is going to pass through the same mechanical reason through which it is causing the wear and tear. So definitely if the belt is rotating, then it will have a uniform wear or TL. Okay, like for example, if you do talk about a mechanical equipment like this, and this is strip is formed like this one over here. Okay, so if it is rotating, okay, so every single part of the strip has to pass through this mechanical or machinery, which is causing the wear and tear. Okay, this is causing the wear and tear. Okay, this is the wear and tear causing mechanism. Okay, so it is causing the wear and tear onto this belt. So every part of the strip has to pass through this one. So definitely it will have a uniform wear and tear. Okay, and this is an optical illusion that can be created as a 2D image, but not possible in 3D. That will definitely get wrong if you have got option B as the correct one. Because if an ant is passing through this particular one without crossing the edge, that means it can definitely be possible to form into the 3D one. Okay, so the correct answer for the question would become B and C. Okay, and that would be the perfect explanation, correct explanation for this question. Okay, moving ahead on to the next one. Okay, which of the option is or are correct? Again, a question of the basic observation. The question is based on to the basic observation. Okay, just you have to think about that element or the object which they have discussed into this one, and on the basis of this one you can very simply get this thing that which of the option is a correct one. Like the cap of water bottle is tightened by rotating it in the clockwise direction. So if you're looking from the top of that bottle, okay, like a bottle is like this, okay, and this is the cap of that bottle. Okay, so if you're looking from the top, and you have to you have to loosen it, you have to open up this bottle. Okay, so in that particular case we do rotate it into the anti-clockwise direction like this. Okay, if you have to open up this bottle, okay, you're looking from the top of that one. Okay, so by that one it is for the opening. Okay, so if you have to tighten, you have to definitely move in the opposite direction. Okay, so that would be the case for the very first one. Okay, the second one saying to turn on a tap, the tap head is rotated clockwise. To turn it off, it is rotated counterclockwise. Again, in the same manner, you can think about it that when you have to turn it on, how exactly we do rotate it, and to turn it off, like how exactly we do close it. Okay, same way to loosen a nut of a car wheel, a spanner is turned counterclockwise. Okay, sorry, counterclockwise. Okay, I think this won't be twice. Okay, from the point of view of a person using the spanner. Okay, so we can very simply get this thing into this one also. We can just simply get this one into this one, like looking from that particular side when you have to open this. So we do rotate it like this. Okay, from my perspective, we do rotate it like this. Okay, you can think about that one by the basic observation to this one by yourself also. You'll find out that we do turn it counterclockwise. Like this is screw we are looking. So we do rotate it like this. The screw opener. Okay, we do open up like this one. We do rotate it like this. Okay, and the Earth is seen from the north will rotate clockwise about its axis. It's completely wrong. The Earth rotates like this one. Okay, if you're looking from that particular side, from the top, it would be visible to you rotating counterclockwise. So the correct answer for the question would become A and the C. Okay, so this is a very correct observational question. And you can very simply think about the answer for this question. Just by the basic observation, the way we do operate all these objects and just looking onto the thing from a particular direction. That is also very important because when you are looking from the opposite direction, the direction would completely get opposite. Okay, like if I'm looking onto the water bottle from the bottom side, it would be completely looking anti-clockwise when you're tightening that particular one. Okay, now moving ahead on to the very next question. Question based on the gear mechanism. Okay, in the image below, gear 1 rotates in the direction of the arrow. Which of the statement is or are correct? Again, the question based on the statement correct one. Okay, true or false the statement based on. So if it is rotating, the okay direction of arrow they have given us over here, so we can directly write down. We can figure out that thing. This is rotating clockwise. Okay, the very first one is rotating clockwise. Okay. Now we do know the gear arrangement between 1 and 2 is known as cross belt connection. Okay. That is a cross belt connection like this. Okay. And in the case of the cross belt, the direction gets opposite. Okay. So it would rotate anti-clockwise. Okay. If it is rotating at anti-clockwise, then talking about the third one, so the connection between gear 2 and 3 is known as gear meshing or gear mating. Okay. And in the case of the gear meshing or gear mating, the gears do rotate again in the opposite direction. So this one will rotate clockwise. Again, the gear 4 and 3 will also have the same connection. So it will go anti-clockwise. Same way for the third and the fourth one also. Gear number 4 and 5. The connection of gear 4 and 5 is known as a parallel belt connection. Okay. Where the gears are connected like this, similar like the bicycles we do use. Okay, this in this one, and in this case, the direction remains same. Okay, so if it is rotating anti-clockwise, this will also rotate anti-clockwise. Okay, again, 5 and 6 is similar like this situation, so it will go clockwise. Okay, now the very first option is saying gear 1 and 6 rotate in the same direction. Yes, that is true. Gear 3 and 6 rotate in the opposite direction. So 3 is rotating clockwise, 6 is also rotating clockwise. So this is the wrong one. Gear 1 and 4 rotate in the opposite direction. So 1 is rotating clockwise, 4 is rotating anti-clockwise. So that is the correct option. 2 and 6 rotate in the same direction. So 2 is rotating anti-clockwise, 6 is rotating clockwise. So this would also be a wrong option. The correct answer for the question would become A and C. Okay. So that would be the correct thing or correct way of approaching onto the question, thinking about the gear mechanism and the way it changes its direction with every single connection. Okay, so that's how we can do the question number 19. Okay, moving ahead on to the very next question, what we can get into that one. Question number 20, which is about placing the puzzle pieces. Okay, and the question this time is saying does not. Okay, so remember this thing does not match. We have to identify. Okay, so if you will go for the option number A into this first one, so you have to just simply look for this piece over here. So we can find out this one either to be over here or to be over here. But in none of this case, you will find out a kind of a cutout like this. Okay, so A does not match. Okay, if we do go for the B, we can find out the option B or the figure B either into this particular or into this particular by its outer boundary. But by the two cutouts over here, we can clearly see that B is this one, and that is a very correct. Okay. If same way we do think about the C, we will find out the C over here. Okay, C is over here. And D you won't be able to find out because of the same reason this cutout is not there. So the correct answer for the question would become option A and option D. Okay, this two would be considered as a correct answer for this question because we have to find out the piece which does not match with this puzzle or this figure. Okay, so moving ahead on to the very next question, question number 21. Okay, now question number 21 was a question in which there may be a bit doubt regarding this spacing of that thickness of this space. Okay, but let's first discuss about the other things. Then we would be back onto this particular part where you can raise the objection to or raise the concern into the portal that have been shared by the UCEED. Okay, so from the very top view, the pyramid shape is going to be visible to like this. Okay, so there is no problem related to the pyramid shape. The only thing we have to be concerned of these all four pieces which have been connected onto the other sides of the pyramid. Okay, first of all, let's talk about this cuboid. Okay, if we do talk about the cuboid would be crossing this pyramid, something like this. Where definitely this two lengths would be different. Okay, because of the portions where they are interacting with the pyramid. Okay, so these two would be different, but the line that would be visible from the top view would be the straight line. This line would be visible to us as a straight line. Okay, so cuboid is going to form a straight line for me. While for the cylinder, if we do talk about the cylinder or think about the cylinder will be showing us a curved view over here because it is cutting the pyramid onto the different thicknesses. Okay, also different gaps between the wall, different heights. Okay, so that's why it will be different over here, different height and different height. So definitely that will be forming a curve shape for us. Okay, so cylinder is going to form a curve shape and cuboid is going to be form a straight line. So cuboid is probably going to be visible to me like this at from the top, while this one is probably going to be visible to me something like this from the top. Okay. The same way cylinder is also over here. Just the depth of the cylinder or the size of the cylinder is different one. But by the observation, we can clearly see that the cuboid is more lengthier than the cylinder. Okay. So by that one, this is that cuboid in the option A. If I'm referring the option A over here, and this very first cylinder, this one is over here. Okay, clear? Just opposite side. The very second cylinder is here, and this shape is here. Okay, so that's why the option A would be considered as a correct one. If I do talk about the option B, the size of the cylinder and cuboid onto the opposite ends are not correctly given to us. So that's why B is the wrong one. Same way, if we do talk about the C, this is incorrectly given to us. The second cylinder, it is incorrectly given to us. So that's why it won't be considered as the correct one. And if I do talk about the D, which is just the simply rotated view of the option A, so D would be considered as a correct one. Okay, so the correct answer of the question would become by the shape A and B. But here comes the point where you guys can raise your concern and you can put an objection into the portal. The thickness of this two is different, which have been formed by this area. Okay, this thickness is different into these two of them, and similarly over here into these two also. Okay, so you may create an objection over there. Okay, but I would personally say by the shape it is correct one. By the broadness, if it had been differently given into the paper, it may be like the thing that they do reject or deny changing the answer for this question or giving the bonus marks on this one. Okay, because this is just the printed paper of that which was actually given to you into the exam. So it may be that these things were correct into the exam. So maybe they can deny giving the bonus into this particular question. Okay, but by this method, the correct option would become A and D, where this length of this one is wrong into the option number B, while this one is wrong into the option number C. Okay, so the correct answer would become A and D. Okay, let's move on to the very next question. Question number 22. Now, this is a pure question of current affairs and general awareness. Okay, the answer for this one is B and D. It is just about going through this particular news, okay, which is related to the indigenous design traditions. Okay, so the correct answer for this one is B and D. There's no further correct another explanation for this question. The correct answer is B and D. Okay, moving on to the next one, question number 23. Now, question number 23 is about, first of all, figuring that which two this personalities are, the famous personalities of India. So the very first one, we all do know, it's Mahatma Gandhi. And the second one is B.R. Ambedkar. Okay. We all do know Mahatma Gandhi is famous for, they both are basically famous for their contribution in the independence of our country, and even after that one also. Okay, B.R. Ambedkar was the head of the drafting committee of Indian Constitution. Okay, so their contribution is also very, very, very important for our country and the republic and the constitution of our country. Okay, but the question is related to some other things of them. Okay, like both of them do have degree in law. Okay, that is correct. Mahatma Gandhi was also worked as a lawyer for a few time. Okay, and B.R. Ambedkar also had a degree in the law, and that's why B.R. Ambedkar got this responsibility of drafting the Indian Constitution. Both spent time in South Africa. That is not the correct one. Mahatma Gandhi definitely is very famous for that incident which happened into the South Africa, which changed the view of the ideology of Mahatma Gandhi for the rights of Black people in Africa and India. Okay, and after that one, the Mahatma Gandhi came into this whole thing of revolution and asking the government for the equal rights. Okay, while B.R. Ambedkar visited South Africa in, I think, somewhere near to the end of 19th century, But spend time in South Africa probably is not correct one. Okay, their birthdays are in the same month. No, it is Mahatma Gandhi in October, while B.R. Ambedkar is in April month. Okay, so even that is not correct. Both dressed in a manner that express their ideology. Definitely a correct one. Okay, where Mahatma Gandhi was in that Khadi movement. Okay, so his dress of wearing the Khadi is representing his ideology, while B.R. Ambedkar used to wear a very specific blue blazer and pant, which represented his ideology related to the law and everything and the constitution. Okay, so the correct answer for the question is A and D. Okay, moving ahead on to the very next question. Centuries ago, a rich man left behind a treasure represented as a red dot in the schematic diagram given below. If the corners of the triangle represent central location in the states of Bihar, Telangana, and Rajasthan, which is or are the states which where one could hunt for the treasure. Okay. Now, this is a question based onto the Indian map, knowing about the Indian map. So, this is the second question of this year, which is about the Indian map. If you do not know about like the position of the states, the position of lines, the position of other things, so it may be a bit tricky for you. Okay, but if you do know about the position of these respective states, you can get the answer for these questions very easily. Okay, so if we do talk about that one, so Bihar is somewhere here towards the east of our country. Okay, while Rajasthan is towards the west, and Telangana is there towards the middle south. Okay, or south and then. Okay, so the triangle is getting formed like this. Okay, if we do create a triangle, the triangle is getting formed like this. Okay, so at any of these points, the treasure could be there because the red dot, the triangle is not correctly given in the correct orientation only. It could be in any orientation, it could be given to you. Okay, so at any of this point, it could be there. Okay, so if we could talk about the option A, West Bengal, which is below Bihar. Okay, so West Bengal is here, which is definitely not going to lie onto that line. So it is not an answer. Chhattisgarh, if we do talk about that one, so yes, it is Bihar. Below to Bihar, there is Jharkhand, and towards the west of the Jharkhand, there is Chhattisgarh. So there is a possibility of getting Chhattisgarh as an answer. Okay. If we talk about Punjab, Punjab is way above Rajasthan. Okay. So definitely Punjab is not going to be answered. I put the Rajasthan over here, Bihar over here, and Telangana over here. Okay, so Punjab is going to be way above the Rajasthan, so that is not going to be a correct answer. And Madhya Pradesh definitely could lie somewhere in between Rajasthan and Telangana. So that could be considered as an correct answer for this question. Okay, so the correct answer for the question would be B and D. These two are the possible position where the treasure could lie. Okay, like if we do think about this one by the same of the Indian map, okay, we can clearly see that this is Rajasthan and this is Bihar, and here comes a Telangana. Okay, if we do form this triangle, something like this one. Okay, so the states of Punjab is here. Okay, this is the Punjab we do have. This is the West Bengal we do have. This is the Madhya Pradesh where the treasure may lie. Okay, and this is the Chhattisgarh where the treasure may lie. Okay, and other than that one, it is a possibility of getting the treasure into the Uttar Pradesh also, but that was not in the options. Okay, so the correct answer for this one would become B and D. Okay. Moving ahead on to the very next question of the same MSQ section. Again, a very simple question which you could very simply attempt it just by following the lines. They have said which of the option has or have been created by using only a single wire. So you have to just follow the lines. Okay. Like if I do start from here, okay, so I can continue it like this over here, like this one, and like this, but it is clearly ending at this particular point. That means for the remaining part, there must have been used another wire. Okay, so A is not our answer. Okay, similarly, if we do go for the B, starting again from the same point, we can find it out to be go like this. After this one, it have been like this one and ended at over here. Okay, so again for the remaining part, there had been another line. So again, that is not possible. If we talk about C, so it is going like this, then from behind it is coming like this one, then going like this, then from this section, And then again from behind it is going like this. Okay, so this is a possible one. And same way if you go for the D also, I think that is very clearly visible to every other student. Everyone must have marked the D as a correct answer because it is very clearly visible. Okay, but I'm hoping that you definitely must have not marked B or A as a correct answer. So that is a one. Okay, so the correct answer for the question would become C and D, while A and B cannot be created by using only a single file. Okay, so this would have been very easily get solved with the help of this kind of a methods. Okay, so that is the correct explanation for this particular question. Okay, now moving ahead on to the very next question. Just Question number 26. Very, very, very good question of coding. Okay, because either most of the students must have got the B as an answer, okay, or maybe A, C, or D as an answer. Okay. Very rarely I have seen the students who have marked all four of them as a correct answer. But if you have marked all four of them as a correct answer, you have done very well in this particular question. Okay. So talking about this question, if you look closely onto this one, you will find it out that there are three squares and one rectangle into every single coded word which is given to you. And every time wherever is the E, okay, there is the rectangle. So there are two possible cases over here. The very first possible case, what if E is just a simple rectangle? Okay, if E is just a simple rectangle, that means T over here is a square, sorry, two squares, while A over here is a single square. Okay, if we do talk about this situation, okay, like over here, you can also see then A, then T. Over here, this is T, this is A, and this is so E, and this is A. And same way over here, this is E, this is T, and this is A. Okay, there may be another possibility to this one. What if E is a rectangle along with a square? Okay, like the second situation. What if this is E? Then this would become T, this one would become A. Clear? Okay, by this one, we can go and approach onto this same question very well. Okay, like into this one, we can go like this. What if this is representing my E? Okay, then in that case, this one would become our A and T. And again over here, if this is like E, okay, so this could be A and T respectively. Okay, so by that mean, if you look onto this thing, A would become a square and T would also become a square. Okay, so if we do follow the very first situation, so this could be like A, yeah, sorry, my bad. If we do consider this to be the very first one, if we do consider as per the very first one, so it may be like T, 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 or it may be like by the very first one, just a minute. If we follow the same thing, and we just confirming our answers accordingly. So we can get it like this also. We can get it like this T, then A, then T, then A. So this is correct. This is correct. And same way, we can get it like this T, then A, then A, and then T. Okay, so this is also correct. And if we to consider the second situation, we can get it like A, 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 and A, which is option B. Okay, clear. So by that one, we can very easily simply approach on that. Now, maybe there could be a kind of a thinking of your mind. So why this would have been considered as a correct one? Okay, which may also be a wrong approach. Okay, because E is changing over here in that situation. E over here is different and E over here is different. Okay, so even if we do eliminate this option as a correct one, still this could be considered as a correct one. Okay, just by this approach, we can very easily get this thing. Like into this one, there are two flaws. So first of all, change of code of E. Okay, change of code of E. There may be the another flaw that T and A does have same code. Okay, so there are two flaws in this. Okay, which may make this one as a kind of a wrong approach also. Okay, but if we do consider this one only, we can very simply get this that all of them does have a different code also, and even E is not changing anytime. Okay, so let's just keep ourselves only up to this, and let's try to get the answer with the help of that only. The very first approach, that what if this is T, this is A, as a E, and this is A. This is E, this is A, this is T, and similarly, this is A, this is T, and this is E. Okay, so by that one, we can very simply get the answer as like this one, that all four of them are the correct one. So even if you would have took a risk into this question, okay, you would get a very positive benefit for that one, a very positive, fruitful result for that particular. Okay, so moving ahead on to the very next one. Question number 27. Okay. Which of the option has have do not match? Again, do not match. Okay. So most of the question we have got this time is like this. Which of the following statements are true, do not true, match, do not match. Okay. So there was most like kind of a question of observation. You have to observe the figures and the question figures and the options carefully, and you will get the answer accordingly. Okay. So I would say that this time paper in that sense was relatively easy. Okay, so following this thing, we will find it out over here that if you do check the outlines of the figure, okay, so you will find out this element somewhere here. Okay, this second element over here. Okay, we'll find out this third element over here. Okay, this fourth element you will be able to get it over here. This element we will get it over here. Okay, and this yeah, this one, okay, you will get at this end, and this remaining one, you will find it out over here. Okay, so this definitely can get formed. Okay, it can very easily get formed. Okay, but when you will check with the B, how exactly you should approach onto this is like I do know that I have checked all these of them with the A with the outline. So I do not have to verify this back again. I do not have to verify this back again. I do not have to verify this back again. And I do not have to verify this back again. Okay, because I can directly verify them with the help of the options. Okay, and along with that, if I do go for this one also, that is also the same one. Now, these two are the new elements which I have got over here. So let's check them. Okay, if I will check it over here, that is also available. I think this one over here. Okay, and this one is visibly over here. Okay, but when you will look onto this closely, the thickness of this section, okay, is not matching over here. It is not matching over here. Okay, that's why I would consider this portion to be wrong into the B. Okay, so B cannot get formed. Okay, B is not matching. That I've got one answer. Similarly, I will go for the C. Again, I will find out all of them as a correct one. But in the D, when I will go for this element, which is given a bit similar like over here, but a very clear difference, this one, you will find it out. This portions are not here, just oppositively that is given to us. So this is wrong. This section is wrong. So the correct answer for the question would become B and D. Okay, so that's how you are expected to go for the question number 27 of this one. Okay, so let's move ahead on to the next question number 28. Okay, so I do remember that at the sessions, I told you guys that please read about the camera, that how exactly to work, or CASIC, how exactly this all focal length, shutter speeds, FPS, this all things to work. Okay, so it is completely based on to that one. So the correct answer for this one is A, B, and D. By this one, you can achieve that focal wala portion. Okay, you can achieve that thing. And if you want to blur that background, so you need to change the focal length. Okay, so by that one, you can get that thing, and you can definitely get the correct one. While shutter speed, by changing the shutter speed, we do get like the portion of the light that is entering the camera. Okay, so that could be managed. So it has nothing to do with the background. Okay, so that is option. C, which would not be the correct one. So it would be A, B, and D. Okay. So focal length, they have a lot of time asked the question of the focal length, shutter speeds, FPS, animation running speed. Okay. So this is one of the very important section from where every time they do ask the question. Okay. Moving ahead on to the next question of MSQ, which is about which of the options can be generated by revolving the quadrilateral in image K about its edge. Okay, now how exactly, rather than visualizing them, okay, you can get the answer with the help of visualizing them also. Okay, but rather than visualizing them, I would say that one by one, just simply rotate the edges because there are only four edges. You have to rotate only about four edges and you will get your figure. Okay, like if I'm rotating about one, okay, if I'm rotating about this edge, so I'm going to get just 180-degree rotation. I'm going to get a shape like this. Okay, and just a minute. Yeah, so I'm going to get a shape like this. Okay, and by 360-degree rotation, I will get a circle over here like this one, a circle over here, where this much of the space would be empty. Okay, this much of the space would be empty. Okay, and I will get a kind of a diamond shape over here. So that is looking like the A. This is the section which is empty. So if you just focus it properly, you are going to get it something as this. Same way, if we do go on to the B, okay, oh sorry, the second one. Okay, if I do rotate it about this one, so just opposite it at the 180-degree angle, I'm going to get it like this, where it will form a kind of a curve over here and an elliptical cylindrical shape over here also. Okay, I will get it like this. So there would be an empty space back again over here, which is looking like B. So B can also get formed. Okay. Similarly, if I do rotate it about this very third one, so it would, after 180-degree rotation, it would be like this, where I will get an elliptical shape like this one and over here like this one. Okay. So by that one, it is looking like D, and similarly, if we do rotate about the third one, okay, sorry, last one, so I'm going to get it like this one, where it would be like cylindrically shaped like this, over here like this one. So I'm going to get the C figure. Okay, so all four of them are possible. So rather than thinking about them, like over here, it was actually like this. Over here, it is actually like this, and over here, it is actually like this. Okay, so rather than thinking about the four options, go for the figure, try to rotate it about the edges and get the different shapes and mark the answers accordingly. Okay, that is all four of them which could get formed with the help of this shape K by rotating it around the around its edges. Okay, so that's how you are supposed to attempt with this particular question. Okay, so this is all from this MSQ section of UC 2025 paper. I do hope that you definitely must have been able to score as much as marks possible into this section. Okay, because this is literally one of the very good section where you could have scored very good marks and you could have created an upper hand into the paper. Okay, so let's move on to the next section, which is, sorry, let's move on to the next section, which is our MCQ section. Okay, so let's discuss about the MCQ. Okay, talking about this question, what is the length of the edge of the largest cube that can be placed inside a sphere of radius 10 centimeter? Okay, so if we do talk about this question, so it's a sphere. Okay, and if we do place a cube inside that sphere, which would be probably looking something like this. Okay, so just give me a second, let me make it properly. So it is going to be visible to us something like this. So the diagonal of this cube, okay, diagonal of cube, which is a root 3, considering a to be the side of cube. Basically, that would be same as like the diameter of a sphere, okay, which is given to be as like 20, okay, because the radius is given to us as like 10, so diameter of the sphere would be 20. So just simply a root 3 is equals to 20, which will give me a as like 20 by root 3, and this is our answer, option D. Okay, so very simple, straightforward question. Probably if you have not done a mistake in taking radius as a diameter, or maybe sphere by circle and a square as a cube, so you definitely must have got the very correct answer for this question. Okay, so this is the correct answer for this. Moving ahead on to the very next question, question number 31, about counting the number of triangles into the given shape. Okay, so into this one, there are multiple methods you could have used. Okay, like I'm trying to solve this one with the two different methods. Okay, first of all, I'm going to try to solve with the triangles which together is forming that shape. Okay, so first of all, I'm going for those triangles which are single. Okay, like do not have any other part into that one. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Okay, 17 of the triangles. Okay, now moving ahead on to the second type of the triangles, okay, which are together getting formed with the two pieces like this one. So let's count it like this. So one, this would be two, third one, fourth one, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth. Okay, so nine of such a type, and then forming similarly the triangle which have been formed with the three parts or three triangles. Okay, where this is the one of them which is getting formed with the three of them. Okay, so one of that one. So total there are 27 triangles into the shape. Okay, now there could be the another method which you could also have used for getting the answer for this question. Okay, for that one, I am using a particular shape which is very easy to understand. Okay, if ever we get a triangle with a line into that one, so there are two parts of it. So the total number of triangles is always three. While if I do get the same line over there like this one, so two parts over there, so it's only two triangles into this one. Okay, so three, 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 two, two, three, three, three. But remember over here, okay, you may make a very small mistake into this one, okay, if you will forget about that, okay. Like if we do talk about this shape, okay, so definitely we have wrote down the three triangles in this one, okay. So the next, this shape is also looking identical one, okay, but this one portion have already been counted, so this would only be counted as like two new triangles, this first one and the bigger one, the second one, okay. So it would have only two more triangles over there, okay. So total we have got this much of the triangle. Let's count them, okay. So 3, 6, 9, 11, 13, 16, 19, 22, and 24. 24 triangles we have already got. Okay, now after this one, if you will just focus a bit more onto that one, I will get one more triangle over here, one more triangle over here, and one last triangle into this one. So three more triangles we are getting. So plus 3, 27. Okay, so the correct answer for the question is option D, 27. Okay, so I do hope that you definitely must have counted it correctly to be answered as like 27. A lot of students were asking to be at 26. So most probably they have either missed this one or maybe this one. Mostly I've seen that the student missed these two triangles, okay, in the normal discussion. Okay. Let's move ahead on to the very next question, question number 32. Okay. So over here they have gave us the image K is rotated by an angle of 45-degree anti-clockwise, which option represents the rotated image. Okay, so there we are rotating it by 45-degree. Okay, so the very first thing you could focus, this particular edge would move opposite over here. Okay, so by that one, we can eliminate the option C first of all. Okay, we will left out with the three options only A, B, and D. Now, in between the differences of the A and B, like I discussed with the students into the classes where I told them that rather than focusing onto the image, focus onto the options and get the difference over there. Okay, like if I will look at the difference between A and B, I will find it out that this element is different. Okay, and when it will focus, because this would come at this particular point after being rotated. Okay, so by that one I can eliminate the option number A. I will left out with the option number B, and similarly we can eliminate the option number D also. We will get the answer as like option number B correct. Okay, by the same particular piece. Okay, we can eliminate this option. So okay, so that would be our correct answer, option number B. Even in the D, this is also wrong. Okay, this piece is also wrongly given to us. Okay, so it would be option B considered as a correct answer. Okay, so remember again, in such type of the question, always try to focus first of all on your options, get the difference into the options, and then with the help of that one, get the difference, get that thing with the help of the question that what exactly should be there. Okay, moving ahead on to the very next question, okay, which is about a very basic logo identification one. Okay, so there's no discussion into this particular question. We have to identify the correct logo of the Indian Post. Okay, this is option D. Okay, if you have ever used the Indian Post, okay, which is very rare nowadays, but it is one of the very important one. If you have ever got a courier through the Indian Dak or Indian Post, option D is the correct answer for the same. Okay, moving ahead on to the next one, it is a question of series. What is the next number in the sequence below? Okay, so remember we tried one similar type of the question in the our classes, in the regular classes, where I told you you need to be very properly aware about the numbers, at least the cubes and the square of the numbers. Okay, so basically 341 is 7 cube minus 2. 214 is 6 cube minus 2. 123 is 5 cube minus 2, 4 cube minus 2, 3 cube minus 2. So the next one should be 2 cube minus 2, which would be 8 minus 2, 6. Okay. So the next number in the sequence should be 6. Okay. So knowing about the numbers, at least the cubes and the squares up to 15 or 20 would be very beneficial for such type of question. Okay. So that's how you should have attempted the question number 34. Okay. Moving ahead on to the next one, which option is odd one out? Okay, so the words that is given to you over here is a palindrome one, like wow. You'll read it from the back side, it would still be wow. Same thing goes for the madam, M-A-D-A-M. Same with civic, C-I-V-I-C, R-O-T-A-T-O-R. But if you go for the solo, okay, from the back side, it would become olos. Okay, so C would be the one which is different from the others. Okay, so the answer for this one is option C. Okay, moving ahead on to the next one, which option will replace the question mark into this one? So again, a question which is based on to the rotation. So in this particular question, we can just simply focus onto the first of all the images which is given to me. Okay, so if you look closely, the alternate ones are same with its outer these four figures. Okay, the four triangles which is given into the outer boundary of that particular, which are identical. Okay, you can even clear that thing with the help of that shapes. Okay, the same way it is expected this to also be the same one. Okay, so in this one, if you just focus onto that thing, so by that particular one, we can very simply eliminate the option number D. Okay, now, similar like the one question we discussed, if we focus onto the options first of all, so I can find it out first of all, this triangle is different from these two over here. Okay, so when I will verify it with this particular figure, I can eliminate the option number A. Okay, now I will left out with these two options only. Okay, where these four are the identical ones which is given to you. Only this particular pieces and their rotation is different. So now if I do focus on to these five figures which is given to us into the center, okay, they are slightly being rotated in the this direction. Okay, they're slightly being rotated in the clockwise direction. Okay, so if we do follow that thing through that one, we can very easily get this thing. The B's shape is identical as like the A. Okay, the orientation of B and A is looking like the identical one. So B would get wrong, and the correct answer would become option number C. Okay, so that's how we can get the answer for the question number 36. Okay, just by looking onto the same thing, the how the pieces are being rotated, and the way we discuss that look on your options, get the differences into the options, and through that one, figure out what is going to be the correct answer. Okay, moving ahead on to the very next question. Now, in this particular question, we can very simply judge that we have to identify these embroidery techniques, okay, and they are related to which part of the country, which state of the country. So, Fulkari is a very famous embroidery technique of Punjab, and by that one only we can get the answer as like option B, because there is only one option which does have the Fulkari explained as like from the Punjab. Okay, chicken curry is a very famous from the Uttar Pradesh, where the network is very famous of that chicken curry work. Okay, so the question based on the basic general awareness of Indian culture and Indian dresses and ethnic wears. Okay, so embroidery technique, Fulkari is from the Punjab only. Okay, now going for the very next question. Okay, okay, so talking about the next question. Question number 38. What is the number of fonts used in the following sentence? Okay. Now, again, the second question where I would say that maybe you can raise the objection. Okay. But again, this is a very subjective one, which may could be considered as an objection. They may change the answer, or maybe they cannot do that thing, or they won't do that thing. So if you do the and understanding the fonts over here, so you'll find out one font over here from the time then of Leonardo da Vinci, this particular section, I think uh, up to this point is the second font. Okay, over here you will find out the third font. Okay, then this is up to this art. It's the fourth one. Then this is fifth. Okay, it is already similar like this font. Okay, so it's not a different one. Even this is similar like this one. It's not a different one. Okay, so total number of font I've got is one, two, three, 4, and 5. The main objectional thing is of this word today. Okay, because the T over here different from this particular one. Okay, that's why some of the students are raising this one as like 6, but according to me, it is looking almost similar as like the first one. So I would go with the answer key that is shared by the UC, that is 5. Okay, I won't consider this one as a different one. According to me, also it is looking like the same one, but definitely there is a very slight difference, but is not probably visible at the very first look. But when you will zoom it a bit, you will be able to find out that difference. Okay, so you may raise the objection for this question where the answer could be the six also, where this may consider as a different font. Okay, but I would go with the 5. Okay, where these are the different 5 fonts over here into this one. Okay, okay. Now moving ahead on to the next question, which is question number 39 based on to the general awareness. Okay, so this is about the Hornbill Festival, okay, which is celebrated in the first few days or first week of the December. Okay, this is related to the Nagaland, and this is based on to the very specific species of the bird. Okay, and that is the correct answer for this question number 39. Okay, Hornbill Festival. Okay, so, like, uh, you will find out this thing that it is celebrated in the Nagaland from the 1st December to the December 10. Okay, and this is a picture related to that one. Okay, now moving ahead on to the next one, the lost wax process is used for. That is again a bit of a question of um, general awareness. This is related to the metal casting. Okay, I'm 100% sure that most of the students must have got this thing, that it has nothing to do with the option A and option number C. If you're confused with the jaggery making and the metal casting, so the right answer for this one is metal casting. Okay, where this is also known as investment casting. Okay, in which we do like, let me show you the process for this one. Okay, so basically, that is a shape which we do want to achieve. So we do form this one with the help of the wax. Okay, then we do create the mold accordingly. Okay, then by burning, we do remove that wax from there. Okay, then we will get that empty space over here. Now we can put the molten metal into that one and you will get the shape or the exact piece which actually you do want. Okay, so this is the lost of expressive process for the metal casting, also known as investment casting. Okay, moving ahead on to the very next question, question number 41. You need to hang a large rectangular picture frame on a wall in an empty room to ensure that it is vertical and not tilted. Which of the following will help you hang the picture correctly? Remember this thing, they have said that you do not have to use any additional item other than the things which are given to you. Okay, so there is a very good mechanical equipment which is known as level, okay, in which they do have a tube like this, and they do have some liquid into that one. Okay, if that liquid is like if that one is not straight, if it has been tilted a bit like this, so what happens into this case? The liquid gets concentrated at the one of the end, and it looks like this one, which clears this thing that it is not straight, it is not correct, it is tilted. Okay, so we can do this thing with the help of the option. See, a flexible and transparent pipe and the mug of water and to that one. Okay, like actually, this is not exact the level example over here. Okay, so basically, if I will keep a pipe, okay, and if I'm putting the water from one of the side, if it is moving, the water is flowing, that means it is tilted. If the water is not flowing, that means it is not tilted. Okay, so by that one, we can get this whether that frame is vertically straight or not. Okay, so by that one, we can get the answer for this one, which is option C. Okay. Moving ahead on to the next one, which of the option is the odd one? Again, a question a bit based on to the general awareness. Okay, where the correct answer is rat snake. Okay, because that is the only non-venomous snake into all these different categories which is given to us over here. Okay, so it is based on to that general awareness a bit. Okay, rat snake, which is also known as a farmer's friend. Okay, uh, again a question based on to the general awareness. Okay, which of the following option is the odd one? Okay, so option correct is D, drilling, which is a process of making a hole for a particular purpose, while all other these processes are of the process of coating a particular element, in which electroplating, like we do keep it in a liquid like this one. Okay, where one of them is a positively charged, another one is of them is a negatively charged. Okay, these metals do attract the opposite ones, and they do get coated according to that one. Like if I do want to coat this particular one, so the metal will be like coated onto the another one. Okay, that is the electroplating, and anodizing is also the similar one. Powder coating is also in the same manner. Okay, so the three of them are the coating methods, while one of them is a drilling, which is different from the others, and it's a process of making a hole. Okay, what is the next number in this sequence? Okay, so if you look onto this particular question, 7, 11, 18, 30, and 50. So if we look for their difference, okay, so looking onto their difference, you will find out the difference over here is 4, then 7, then 12, then 20. Okay, that is the difference between these elements. Okay, so if you look closely, so 7, 11 plus 1, plus 2, plus 1, plus 0. So the next one should be plus 3. Okay, so the difference next time it should be 33, sorry, by that, 33. Okay. And by that one, the correct answer over here would come out to be 83. Okay. So by that one, we can get the answer for this one as like 83. Okay. Moving ahead on to the next question number 45. The well-known masterpiece Mona Lisa was painted by Leonardo da Vinci in the 16th century. Very famous painting, we all know. Nearly 500 years later, another artist made a satirical reference to it. He copied the Mona Lisa but painted a mustache on her. Which art movement was the artist associated with? Okay, This is a bit of a question based on the current affairs, not just the current affairs, but also the basic awareness. Okay, but you would have give the answer for this one as like the Dadaism also by knowing the difference of the art forms over here, like what exactly is a Cubism art form, what exactly is the Impressionism, what exactly is a pop art. Okay, so through that one also we could have marked as like the answer as like option A. Okay, the Dadaism are more like kind of you can say a sarcastic representation of something. Okay, Cubism, we all do know Pablo Picasso is very famous for the Cubism art form. Okay, Impressionism is a, you can say, a post art form of realism. Okay, and pop art, we do know about that one. So if you do know the difference between these art forms, definitely you can give the answer as like option A. Okay, but it is a more like kind of a drawing question rather than this logical one. Okay. Uh, which of the following option match the fruit and the leaf correctly? Okay, so a question based on to the understanding of flora and fauna. Okay, so probably if you have been through the PDF that is given to you onto this from the BRDS, okay, in that one there's a very specific PDF regarding the flora and fauna where you have got the pictures of fruits, flowers, leaves and plants. Okay, and through that one you have to associate that which of them is going to be the correct one. Okay, so by that one the mango is a third one. Okay, mango is a third one, and I think this yeah, mango is the third one, I think, and jackfruit is the first one. Okay, so by that one I think there's only one option over here which is the correct one according to me. It is going to be option B, which is going to be the correct answer for this particular question number 46. Okay, moving ahead on to the next one. Okay, the next question. Uh, which are the rivers numbered from 1 to 4 in the map below? Okay, question you can say of general awareness. Okay, but I would say a question bit of logical thinking and logical reasoning also. Okay, like, if you do know a bit of the, like, from wherever part of the India you are, okay, like there are two rivers from the south part, okay, there are two rivers from the northern India, okay, so it may be very easily discussed over here. But if you go through the rivers and the options, all the rivers are there in a in national anthem, okay. So I think you should be aware of this particular thing. Okay. But a very simple approach you could have took into this one is like if we go for the river number two, that is given to us either a Ganga or the Yamuna. Okay. So let's talk about the first of all Ganga or Yamuna. Okay. So Ganga River passes through the UP, Uttarakhand, Bihar, and then further it named as a Hooghly, and like it goes into this Bhagirathi also it is known as in some part of the India. Okay, and it merged into the Ganga Sagar or Bay of Bengal. Okay, while if I do talk about the Yamuna, uh, related to the current affairs, okay, recently the Delhi elections have been announced. In a few days, we are going to have Delhi elections, okay? And cleaning of Yamuna is one of the very major issues that have been raised for the Delhi elections, okay? So if you have been following the news, you definitely must have got this thing that Yamuna is a very, very famous river, and it is from past, it passes through the Delhi, okay? So if we do relate the UP and Uttarakhand with the Delhi, you will find it out that Delhi is towards the west side of UP or Uttarakhand. Okay, so by that one, the very first river which is given to you over here is Ganga, while the second river is Yamuna. Okay, so by that one, I can eliminate the option number A and option number C. Okay, now talking about the first river, okay, the first river, which could either be Satluj or Chenab, where the Chenab just passes through Jammu and Kashmir. Another very famous river for from Jammu and Kashmir is Jhelum. Okay, so Chenab do passes through the Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, and you can clearly figure out or understand this thing from the figure that is given to you that Jammu and Kashmir is over here. Okay, so this is the boundary of the Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, the first one is passing below that one. So it is not Chenab. Okay, the correct answer would become option B, Satluj, Yamuna, Godavari, and Kaveri. Okay, so that is the correct answer for this question 47. So even if in some of the questions of the general awareness, we can very easily get the correct answer for that one if we logically think about that question. Okay, so this is the answer for the question number 47. Okay. Moving ahead on to the next one, a question based on to a bit of the drawing knowledge or drawing understanding. Okay, definitely in the animation, you must have practiced such type of the question. Using that knowledge of the animation, we could have very easily give the answer for this one. Like the first and the last figure is fixed in all the options you can clearly see. Okay, so we have to use that one, and through that we have to get the correct flow of that one. Okay, and fortunately the second one only is also the different one over here into the option. So through that one very easily we can get this thing. Okay, that what is going to be the correct one. This could be a probably correct if it had been traveling. Also, it had been walking, sorry. It had been walking probably. Okay. So it is not F. Okay. It is definitely not F. Okay. But if you look closely, that it is the G which is possible after the K. Okay. That this leg, this first leg will bend a bit and the second leg will start coming near to that one. Okay. So it is option B by that one. Even now, after getting this answer, how you should actually move ahead is just by looking onto the sequence and figure it out whether it is possibly be done to make an animation of running or not. Okay. So after this one, it is G. The legs are coming more closer to each other. Then Q, the another leg is crossing the first one. Then the Y, it moves a bit ahead, then the F more ahead, and then the H, which is similar like the K. Okay, so this is the B option. Okay, the difference into this one is like, for example, if you consider this one as a right leg, this one is the left over here, this is a left leg, this is a right leg. Okay, so it is a one loop of that animation. Okay, so by that one, we can very easily get the answer as like option B for the question number 48. Okay. Moving ahead on to the next one, question number 49, which of the following is the hardest wood? Okay, again, a bit of the question based on to the flora and fauna. So the correct answer for this one is rosewood. Okay, so for this one, you have to be a bit knowing about the material. Okay, and through that one, you can get the answer for this question. Okay, question number 50, a question based on to the drawing, color scheme, and everything. Okay, it does not have anything related to the logical understanding. Okay, so the answer for this one is option D, which is light gray. Okay, so knowing about the Indian species, Indian trees and plants, it would be helpful to mark the answers for like previous question, and for this one, a bit knowledge of color schemes and everything would be helpful to give the answer for this particular question. Okay, so this there had been a lot of questions based on to this all colors and general awareness, general understanding, flora, fauna, environmental awareness, Indian map, okay, position of states, rivers, okay. So those who are preparing for the next year, I would completely request that include this thing also in your preparation because this is also going to be the very important one. Okay. Now moving ahead on to the next question, question number 51. Again, a question based on the very simple rotation one, sorry, flipping one. Okay, they have gave you that you have to flip it about the vertical axis, and they have also written for your basic, what I should say, help that you have to get onto the right side of K. Okay, so it's just a mirror image. Okay, so you have to form the mirror image of this one. So the mirror image of this one would be like something this. Okay, so by that one, I can eliminate the option number A and option number C. And then again, I will go on to the B and D and I will look for the difference of them. So the very first row is same. The very second row, this element is a different one. Okay, this element is a different one. So if we do go for the center part of this one, so it is like this. After this flipping, it would become like this one. So by that one, the answer would become the D, and this would become the wrong answer. Okay, so the very simple questions of rotation, flipping as like the other years had been asked into this year also. So I do hope that you definitely must have got the very correct answer for this one. Okay, moving ahead on to the next question. Question number 52. Okay, this type of the question had been asked last year when they where they have said that you have to keep two discs together. Okay, in the different forms it had been asked to you. Like you guys can remember that question where they were forming a kind of a shape and they gave a red dot into that one and you had to merge them and then you had to identify the area that would be overlapping each other. So this time do not have to go for the overlapping area. You have to go for that particular area, which is like kind of which would remain empty. Okay. But what mistake few of the students have did into this question is they forgot about this particular part that you had to rotate 60-degree anti-clockwise also. Okay. You had to rotate it 60-degree anti-clockwise also. Okay. So you can do two things. Okay. You can either first of all rotate the disk as disk X and disk Y by 60 degree, and then you could have went for this question, or maybe you could have directly first of all merged them, and then after that one you would have got this one, like how exactly that would be visible. Okay, so if I'm merging this one over here, let me draw it, how exactly that would be visible to you. So probably this is going to be something as like this. I do know that you guys have to do this thing with your imagination, properly imagination only. Okay, and this would go over here a bit, and probably something like this. Okay, maybe I have made a mistake. Okay, and now if I do color this section, this all section, so whatever is the remaining area that have been left, that we have to just simply figure out. Okay. And just few of the students came to me who said that they forgot about this rotating this elements also. Okay, so if you have done that, probably you have made a mistake. Otherwise, it is very easily achievable answer. Okay, you could have got the correct answer for this one, because if you will have formed it correctly, okay, or visualized it correctly, you definitely would have got some shape like this one. Okay, and when you will rotate it by this much of the angle, like if you look closely over here, this particular area I can see over here, but as I have to rotate it 60-degree anti-clockwise, the answer would become like option B. Okay, the correct answer for the question would become option B. Okay, because you have to rotate it also. Okay. Moving ahead on to the very next question, in the cursed land of Weirdistan, strength of animals was disproportionately distributed. Okay, a horse has half the strength of a dog. So what exactly you need to do into this question is again similar like that one question we did of the point, pixel, inch. Okay, just first of all create a form of this one. Okay, like they have said, horse has a half the strength of a dog. So horse has half the strength of a dog and four times the strength of an element. Four times strength of an element. Monkey has three times the strength of a rhino. Monkey has three times the strength of a rhino. Elephant has half the strength of a rhino. Okay, elephant has half the strength of a Rhino. Okay, so I have wrote down every detail which is given to me in the form of a mathematical terms or mathematical variable and equation. Now, first of all, using that one, I will form a very straight equation. But what would be good for me is, as they have gave us, one dog was becoming a danger for other animal, and they decided to assign a team of animal soldiers to overpower him. Remember this thing, this is very important one, overpower. Okay, so what I'm going to do, if you look closely, monkey is related to rhino, rhino is related to elephant, and elephant is creating the further equation. So I'm making it like this: monkey, which is equals to three times of rhino. And from this equation, I can write down rhino is equals to two times of elephant. So that would become three rhinos. That means six elephant. Okay, now four elephant are one horse. Okay, four element are one horse. Four element is equals to one horse. That means elephant is equals to horse by four. Using that thing, I will get this thing something as like this, six times of horse by four, which could be written as like, instead of this one, I would prefer to write down it like three times of horse by two. And one horse is d by two. When you will put it equally, that would become 3d by 4. So that is a correct form of equation, okay, or a simplified form of all the five animals in a single line. Okay, now they have gave us that there is a dog which is creating a problem for everyone, a danger for other animals. So we have to find out which group of animals together will overpower. Again, as I mentioned few minutes back, that overpower word is going to be very important, because we do not have to just make a group which is equal to the power of the dog. We have to make a group which is overpowering the dog. Okay, so let's discuss it one by one. So they have gave us one rhino and one monkey. Okay, so I have to write down monkey in the form of D, rhino in the form of D. Okay, so I do know monkey is 3D by 4. So one monkey would become 3D by 4. Okay, and one rhino. Okay, so plus, now talking about the rhino, okay, I do know that three rhinos are equals to 3D by 4. So one rhino is equals to d by 4. So let's add it d by 4. One rhino would be d by 4, which would together be the d. So it is not overpowering. Okay, it is just equals to the dog. Okay, so that is not correct answer. If we do go for this one rhino, we have already calculated one rhino is d by 4. One horse, we do know one horse is d by 2. One horse is d by 2. And one elephant, let's discuss it over here from this particular part only. Okay, from this one only. 4 elephant is equals to d by 2. So one elephant would be equals to d by 8. So that would become d by 8. Okay. And when we will add this whole together, that is going to be, if I'm not wrong, 7d by, oh, sorry, 7d by 8, okay, which is obviously less than the power of the dog. Okay, so it is also not a correct answer for me. Okay, now if we do go for the option C, they have given us one horse, which is d by 2, and one monkey, and we have got this thing, one monkey is 3d by 4, which together would be 5d by 4. Now, this definitely can overpower the dog. So the correct answer for the question is option C. Even two horses together is going to make it d by 2 plus d by 2, which is d. So it is also not overpowering. Okay. So the question was about overpowering the dog, not equals to the power of the dog. Okay. That's why d and a, which is equals to the d, is not going to be my answer. Okay. My answer is going to be option C. So I do hope you must have got your answer for this particular question. Okay, if you had faced any doubt. Okay, so first of all, form the whole equation correctly. Monkey to rhino, rhino to elephant, elephant to horse, horse to dog. Okay, and then using the details that is given to you, just get the values for the rhino, monkey, horse, elephant, and this that thing, and make the equation in the form of dog. It should be equals to 1. It should be more than 1d. Okay, and that is there in the option number C. Okay, so that's how we can attempt this question number 53. Okay, moving ahead on to the next question, question number 54. A clock is displaced horizontally at a uniform rate along the direction shown. Okay, sorry. Oh my God. Along the direction shown. If the tip of the hour hand is traced from 2 a.m. to 9 a.m., which option shows the correct? Uh, just a minute, guys. Hmm. Which option shows the correct tracing pattern? A very, very, very simple one. Okay. I do know that this clock is moving towards the right. Okay. So for the 4 hours, it would be decreasing. And then for the 3 hours, it would be increasing. Okay. So for 4 hours, it would be decreasing. And then for the 3 hours, it would be increasing. Okay. And along with that one, the level of the 9 is below 2. Okay. So the third thing I have to find out that 9 is below 2. Okay. So these three things I have to keep in my mind for solving this question. Okay. So by that very third point, I can eliminate this two option because this is if 2, 9 is above that one. If this is 2, 9 is above that one. So these two options are the wrong one. Okay. Now talking about the B and A, to the very first 2 points, I can get the answer correct as like option A using the first and the second one. I can get the answer as like option A because if you look closely over here, it is decreasing, 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 decreasing up to this point. Okay. So this if is 4 hour, then definitely it is not a 3 hour. Okay, but if you look closely, decreasing, which is 4 hour, okay, increasing, which is 3 hour. Now, proportionately, also that is looking possible. Okay, that's why the correct answer would become A. And also, you can see the difference of their height is not that much. Okay, difference of their height is not that much, and like the option B. Okay, so by that one, the correct answer would consider to be option A for the question number 54. Okay, a very simple question of observation only. Okay. Moving ahead on to the next one, question number 55. Which of the options shows the word transform? It would appear after it is reflected, first of all, horizontally along axis 1 and vertically along axis 2. Okay, so basically, this is asking us to form the water image, and this is asking us to form the mirror image. Okay, and always remember mirror image and the water image, if both of the things are being performed onto the element, that is basically 180-degree rotation. Okay, if you do, like for example, if this is something like, let me draw something different. Okay, if it is like this, so by the mirror image I'm going to get it like this. By the water image I'm going to get it like this. Okay, this is the mirror image and this is the water image. Okay, but if I'm performing mirror image and water image both, so first of all, mirror image and then water image. Okay, and that you can achieve by the 180-degree rotation also. Okay, that is mirror image, that is water image, and that is a 180-degree rotation also. So basically, transform word, you have to just simply rotate it by 180 degree. And when you will perform that thing, you can directly eliminate the option number A and option number C because they are not 180-degree rotation. And just by looking onto the alphabet R, we can very simply mark our answer as like option B, and D would get the wrong one. Okay, so the correct answer for the question is B. So always remember, if they ever do ask mirror image and water image, that is 180-degree rotation. Along with that, also remember, if they do say mirror image and then 180-degree rotation, that is water image. Or water image and then 180-degree rotation, that is basically mirror image. Okay, and also remember, mirror image plus water image is 180-degree rotation. Okay, so by that one you can get the answer for this. Okay, option B. Okay, moving ahead on to the next question. Okay, question number 56. Okay, so in this question they have said the shape L is extruded along z-axis as to form a solid as shown in the figure. How many shapes in the set K, this is set K, will have more than 8 surfaces when extruded along z-axis? Okay, so remember this thing. If you do know, they all are the flat surfaces. Okay, they are not any extrusion onto the any particular surface. Okay, so we can just help it solve it this question with the help of the number of edges very easily. Okay, so we do not have to get more than 8 surfaces. Sorry, we have to get more than 8 surfaces. That means we have to get anyhow more than 6 edges. Okay, why I'm saying this thing? Because 6 edges will form 6 faces for me. Okay, plus 2 faces, which would be top and the bottom. Okay, that would can easily give me the answer for this question. Okay, so I have to just simply get for the number of edges. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Definitely this is one of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is exactly 6. We have to get more than 6. So even this is not correct. Okay. The answer would become only 3 figures. This one, and this one. Okay. Only 3 figures are there, which are going to give me more than 8 surfaces. Okay. Clear? So do hope you may have got the answer for this question number 56. Okay, moving ahead on to the next question, question number 57. Okay, so residents of planet Earthella are planning to abandon it and fly to the planet Marcella because of an acute water crisis. Okay, that is just a story. They may choose any of the flight path connecting Earthella to Marcella through a set of intermediate refueling stations. How many unique flight paths be charted out if paths cannot retrace any segment that have already traversed or revisit any station back again? Okay, so such type of the question in different formats have been asked into the previous years. Like you can remember one question was asked into the NET section, like they had connected them with the, like this kind of the line. Okay, then there was this something like this. Okay, so this type of the question have been a lot of time asked. Okay, so how exactly I'm going to do this question is I'm going to first of all draw this figure in a very simplest form. A, B, C, D, then E, F, and G. Okay, let's connect them. Now, if I do forget about the point C, A to B and then A to D are the identical paths which we are going to get. Okay, they are the identical paths which we are going to get. Okay, so let's first of all calculate for the A to B. Okay, now if a person is decided to go to B refueling station first of all from A, now from the B it does have two paths. Okay, either to go on to the E or to go on to the C. So let's calculate them separately. Okay, like A, B, someone have selected. So if that person is going to the E, definitely. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the person can take four different paths. Okay, again doing that thing. Okay, let's do that one back again. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so four path person can achieve through that one. Okay, now if the person is going to the E first from AB. Okay, if the person have decided to go on to the point C. Okay, if the person have decided to go on to the point C. Okay, so this is definitely done. So 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay, so four path through that one also. Okay, let's repeat back again. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so four paths through this particular one if the person have decided to go to the point C after the B. Okay, so total 8 because only these two are possible. Okay, so same way if the person goes to the AD point first, okay, like from A the person decided to go to the D first. Okay, that is going to get the same eight of them again. Okay, like from the D, it could go onto the C or onto the F. Okay, now the third possibility it could have is to go onto the point C directly. Okay, what if the person goes to the point C directly? Okay, so let's make that one. Okay, how many different paths are possible? Path number one, path number two, okay, path number three, path number four, and path number 5. Okay, because after reaching to the C, if that person is going on to the any other point, that particular planet or sorry, that particular person or that particular spaceship is never going to turn back to the point C. So we are going to get only 5 new paths over there. So it is total summing out to be 21. That's why the answer for the question is option D, 20. Okay, so that is from this question number 57. A lot of times this type of the question have been asked in the previous year. So if you ever get into the future years this question, so it won't be a very surprising thing. Okay, so this is from this MCQ section of this paper, and that's it from the overall this all things which we have discussed from the UC 2025 paper. Okay, I do hope that whatever we have discussed, you definitely must have learned from this particular PDF, okay, this particular video, sorry. Okay, and you must have got what are your concerns or where you can raise your objections. Wherever you do have doubt, you must have cleared with the help of this video and hoping the best for all of you guys. So best of luck, take care, and have a good day, everyone. Stay safe. Bye, all of you. Take care.